All right, you guys, so the next thing we're gonna make is black beans with collards. I actually love this dish. This is something that my family makes. We make it a few different ways, and I'll go through that as I'm making it. But we make it a few different ways with different kinds of meats in it. We're going to use bacon today, but you can use Italian sausage in it. You can use ground beef if you want to. My mother uses salt pork with it. So really, the main thing that you're looking is to add a little bit of flavor to it. You can do this as a vegetarian dish as well. So you don't have to put a meat in it at all. One quick safety tip, and then we're going to talk about some knife skills as well. But quick safety tip, you'll notice that I switched cutting boards, and I'm not cutting meat on the same board that I'm cutting vegetables. I like to keep them separate. It's just safer, especially when you're dealing with chicken and pork. So you'll see that this will be the one that we use all night long whenever we're going to be doing meat. So we have chicken and pork later. And also, people forget these are actually meat cutting scissors. So these are kitchen scissors. Don't use them everywhere. So to make it a little easier with my bacon, I'm actually going to cut it into little pieces. So really quick, the problem with bacon is that bacon slides, right? So there's a couple ways I deal with that. Either A, I use kitchen scissors like this, or I get it slightly frozen and then I cut it while it's slightly frozen. That also makes it just a little bit easier to cut. So I'm going to cut this up, and we're going to saute the bacon a little bit first, and that's the oil we're going to use to start our soup. To saute our onions, we're going to put some onions in it. We're going to put some red, green, and yellow peppers again, and we're going to put some green onions. We're going to put some seasonings. You'll notice that your recipe says that you should serve sliced baguette with it with some cheese on it. We're not going to do that today because we felt like that was not usually how we had ever eaten them.
Who's eating a baguette?
So both Kendra and I had a big conversation about this. Yeah. And I said, you know, in my family, we always had cornbread with it. And the story that I always knew of cornbread was that it came from people would make corn cakes, ash cakes, they've been called hoe cakes. And they were actually made out in the field. Yeah. So we've always had cornbread with black-eyed peas soup. So that's what we're going to make with it today.
And I was doing research, and it really was the natives that had it.
Yes.
It came from Native Americans.
So we're going to saute the bacon here with a little bit of pepper. Actually, there's quite a bit of pepper in here. Pepper and a tiny bit of salt. And I know you're thinking bacon has a lot of salt, but the peas are not going to have a lot of salt. So we like to layer our flavors. So as we're cooking, we want to layer the flavors in. So we're going to keep seasoning as we go and add different things in. So we're going to let this bacon get a little bit crispy and brown, but not super crispy because, again, this is it's a soup. And you will notice I'm going to put onions, a little bit of celery, and then I'm going to put peppers in it, and I'm going to saute them. Then I will put the garlic in after that. I don't put it in before I put the other things in because garlic can easily burn, and then you get a bitter yuck taste. So you don't want to do that. So we kind of leave that as the last thing we're going to saute in just before we put our liquid in. Starting to smell the bacon. So we've got this on kind of a high heat. If you were not going to use bacon or a fatty meat, then that would be some where you would add some oil in, something to keep it moving. But if you could do it as a vegetarian meal. A little bit of celery in. I don't like a ton of celery in mine, so we're just going to put a little bit. And we want to look for translucent on these, meaning they want to start to not look completely clear, but they really start to look sauteed and cooked because that's how we're going to get a little bit of flavor in here. And then we'll add all of the other ingredients in. All right, so next we're going to put some collard greens in here. Okay. We're going to put about 2 or 3 cups in here.
4 cheese advanced, cooking time, 1 pouch, 2 minutes. Okay.
Give or take. All right, so we're going to pour some chicken stock in here. And we're going to give it about 3 cups. We put quite a bit in here, so we're going to go over what your recipe says because we're making a big pot of this. We're going to add a bay leaf to it, a little bit of cumin to it. I always add cumin to my beans. It's a staple. It doesn't matter what kind of beans I'm cooking, whether it's black-eyed peas or pinto beans or anything. I always put just a pinch of cumin in there. And then we're also in this one going to add a little bit of paprika. We're gonna add a bay leaf. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of Tabasco sauce. And then one last ingredient while that is simmering, we're gonna add some crushed tomato. Actually, we're gonna add some diced tomato to this one. Now, I like to add, you guys said you don't like spicy, so we're not gonna put this in this pot of them, but I like to add diced tomatoes and green chilies. Gives it just a little bit of spice, but not too much. I always get the mild. Definitely if you are not a spicy kind of person, do not get the hot ones. I love spice and they're a little too hot for me. All right, so we're gonna let this simmer for a bit.